just launched a brand new episode of the Agave Search Club podcast with Pedro Camarena and Tequila Primo 1861. This is 1579 El Pendillo making some phenomenal tequila. They have a small handful of brands. All are fantastic. Pretty much every single one has been on the show. So it was an honor to have this new brand on the show with Pedro Camarena. Now, we're going to set up the story here that goes back to 1761 when the Camarena family, where they co-found the town of Arandas in the highlands area of Jalisco. And then in 1861, Pedro Camarena Ramirez is born. So during the interview, Pedro sets up the story of Pedro Camarena Ramirez. There's a lot of firsts happening for the Camarena family. They're one of the families that are known for bringing Blue Weber agave to the highlands region, which is pretty awesome. And Pedro Camarena Ramirez starts the first tequila distillery in the Arandas area. So it really starts this legacy. And as I said, it comes down to all of these Camarenas that are making fantastic tequila, even today with Felipe and his brother Carlos Camarena, both making phenomenal tequila. So we walk through his great-great-grandfather's story that leads us to today, where his father, and Felipe are at some event years ago, and they're talking about wanting to feel more connected to the tequila industry, to that side of the family. And what does Felipe say? Hey Pedro, if you want to start a tequila brand, I'll go ahead and help you out. When Felipe Camarena tells you or asks you, do you want to start a tequila brand and I will make the juice for you? There's only one answer. Yes. Pedro wasn't sure if he was serious, so he lets a little time go by and he revisits it. He talks about some of the things that go on in his life. This is through the pandemic, and so he's searching for some other opportunities, and he revisits it with Felipe Camarena. And Felipe says, absolutely, let's do it. And we start to see the journey of Tequila Primo 1861. Here's the bottle. It's simple. It's got some information here talking about Pedro Camarena Ramirez and a little bit about his history. I love the topper here. This is the flag. When you're the first one there, you're gonna plant your flag, and this is the flag. It's on fire because that first distillery actually burnt down during the Mexican Revolution. Another thing that's special about El Pendillo, as you pull up to the distillery, you will see outside proudly displayed a Tahona. This is the original Tahona that Pedro Camarena Ramirez used at that distillery. It is the only thing that is remaining after the fire. So Tequila Primo 1861. What's going on here? If you know anything about El Pendillo, it's always about the water source. The process, for the most part, is always the same. It's a little different here with Primo, but for the most part, the process is going to be the same except for the water composition. This is 100% spring water. Another thing that they're doing is during fermentation, normally the majority of these brands are using stainless steel tanks for fermentation. El Pendillo recently got these giant wood vats that they were going to start using for fermentation. I've seen those vats, they're massive, and they are using a blend of the wood vat fermentation and the stainless steel. So we talk about that as well. This is a delicious tequila. They just have the Blanco right now, but we talk about what's coming up. If you want to know what they're doing, what type of barrels, you got to listen to the episode. And this is coming out at 43% or 86 proof. So it's got a little bit more punch to it, but it's not hard to drink. It's very easy to sip on. It's green, it's bold, it's got that citrus, that cooked agave, that mature agave that we're so used to coming out of El Pendillo, and a real treat to sip on. So I want to encourage you, as always, to listen to the entire episode. Pedro does a great job. It's been great seeing this brand out and about. Sip Tequila just added it to their site, so you can go to siptequila.com. Always promoting them. They're the sponsor of the show. Got a great relationship with siptequila.com, and it's really because they do the best job. I'm not just saying it because they're the sponsor of the show. If you've used other tequila online places, you will notice there's a huge difference from Sip Tequila, from the speed, from the safety of packages, and from the personal touch with the written note. They do a phenomenal job. So they've got Primo 1861 on the site. I want to encourage you to go to siptequila.com and purchase a bottle or two of this and try it for yourself. But really great brand. Excited to see what's coming out. It's really great to see that Felipe is really mentoring Pedro and teaching him how he's making tequila. We we talk about where Pedro will go to the distillery for weeks at a time and watch and learn and be a part and tweak and go, what about this? And he's asking questions, and Felipe and the rest of the team are teaching him all about the art of making authentic, additive-free, real tequila. So check out the show. It's on all platforms. If you want to learn more about this brand, you can go to tequilaprimo.com where you can learn a little more of the story, but keep your eyes open for Primo. Like I said, good episode, sip with us. It's been amazing to see that so many people listen to the show. I see the stats, and the show is downloaded in over 72 countries, which blows me away. So thank you sincerely for everyone that is listening to the show and watching these videos. I'm Doug Price, and thanks for watching.